Thank you, Rodney. Can I? I'm just going to talk about a couple of things, but I just want to quickly put on a commercial plug. And Robert Appleton, is he back in the room? I've brought trees from Appleton's for years, and they're wonderful trees. So I was going to just pat him on the back, but he's not even here. He's missed it. Anyway, listen, I've got just for something a little bit different. I've got a little very short movie to show you, and before I show you, I must apologise. I got one of my younger daughters to download it from TV On Demand yesterday, and I said, listen, take out all the embarrassing bits. I just want bits about me talking about trees. So she's got it mostly right now. I'm not smart enough IT to go and take out a few bits that I didn't quite think should be in there. But anyway, I'm going to do that. And what the short movie talks about is, I guess, for my sins, my role in Wellington is a lot about what we've talked about here today. All this good work that Linda's doing, the tree work that Mike and others are doing. I guess the challenge, once we understand the science and the management, is the uptake. I spent a fair bit of time as president of Federated Farmers talking to groups, whether they're urban or rural, and encouraging them to plant more trees on our farms, to plant trees for bees, to be more environmentally conscious. And it's a huge area. It's probably when I sum up my job, I spend a lot of time, I guess, trying to get the balance between the economy and the environment at a sustainable, sitting at a sustainable place. So I'm just going to tell some of the story. This is on Trelano, and I'll kick it away in a minute. It's just a couple of minutes, and then I'll follow it by I've just got half a dozen photos. And this again sort of ties in some of the discussions we've had today. Just very quickly, 1988, Trelano, my family property, was destroyed by Cyclone Bowler. So we as a family had a simple choice. We either walked off that property and planted the entire things in trees, or we built a far more resilient farming system. Thankfully, we chose the latter. And what that involved with, amongst a whole lot of things, was planting thousands and thousands of trees. So currently on Trelano, I manage individually 7,000 poplars and willows, 8,000 native trees. And they're just in my paddocks. In addition to that, we've got 300 hectares locked up in QE2. So our steep areas we fenced off. And so I'm seeing quite an exciting burst of biodiversity. I can tell you what, and talking to Linda earlier on today, and invited up to come see my bees. I've got bees to Africa, and in fact what we have got to Africa is native birds. They've just exploded. So you know, all this work coming together with discussions today is quite exciting. But I'll stop there because I've got to leave enough time for Rodney. I guess I've spent a fair bit of my time talking about the importance of farmers lifting their game, and just to give some hope, hope from me to the audience today is that, listen, the message is well and truly getting through. Even for the trees and bee stuff, I'm happy to say there's obviously it's one of those Federated Farmers initiatives that I'm very proud to push strongly. It is getting traction. We need a lot more information. We need a lot more science. I'm grasping for more information and science myself with a lot of what we do on Trelano. And so as that comes out, be assured that I'm happy to spread the message because, for all of us in the entire country, we're going to benefit with a more resilient, sustainable agricultural economy, which for us in this country means a more sustainable economy, full stop. Just a couple of photos for pass across to Rodney. A number of speakers today have used the terminology monoculture. I farm very much with a mosaic picture in my mind when whatever I do on Trelano. So here you can see a mixture of, I don't use just one tree, so as I say, I've got many thousands of poplars and willows. You can see poplars up on the hills, willows here. And increasingly, I use Carnica. So I individually manage 8,000 Carnica trees. They're all individually pruned by me. That's what I do in my spare time. And because the reason I do that is for us they grow as a weed. I get frustrated with my cattle, with my poplars in particular, at certain times of the year, and I feed them lots of salt and do all the management stuff. But we always struggle with cattle ring-barking trees. I can see a couple of ring-bark trees even from here. The colour's gone, so I know my cattle have been at it. But What it's given us, as I say, from 1988, and I guess what gives me great hope is 2012, unbelievably for us in Hawke's Bay on our property there, was the wettest year in 60 years. We had more rain last year than Cyclone Bowler. Cyclone Bowler, when it came, we had 75 paddocks, so it reduced just to 3 paddocks only. Last year, with all this extensive work that we've done over the last 25 years since Cyclone Bowler, and not only that, we run longer pasture covers. I've built 60 new dams to slow down the water in the last 7 years alone. But just phenomenal the way current management, I guess what we know today, has built a far more resilient property. It's difficult for me to find the slips that we had in 2012 when I received over 2 metres of rain. And then the odd slip that did turn up, I'm out there this winter with more trees, and I'll be strategically planting to make certain that the next big rain event we have doesn't cause anywhere near this, the damage we got in Bowler. So we're making big progress. If I push the right button, I've just got a couple more slides. Oh, Therese, we had problems with this. We were combining a movie and a can you find those? I'll just talk. I'll talk in the meantime. We'll go through. Sorry, I've just that doesn't help. It's interesting. One of the pictures I show here, if we get to find it, is my father's, and some of you, Rodney, I think you knew my father. For 20 years, farming for him was sitting on a bulldozer crushing scrub. He was horrified when I started managing the stuff on an individual basis, and he thought I'd gone completely mad. We forget, some of us in New Zealand, that, I get urban New Zealanders getting a bit grumpy at us farmers occasionally, but I remind them that 30 years ago, just 30 years ago, we had a government and a society in this country that was encouraging farmers to clear our hillsides. We had land development encouragement loans, livestock incentive schemes. We had fertiliser subsidies, heaven forbid. We cleared 980,000 hectares of largely steep bush-clad hill country because we were told by our society that that was the only way to save this nation. Robert Muldoon was the Prime Minister, and he wanted far more sheep on our hillsides. I see lots of people nodding heads. What we've learnt now is the pendulum went too far. So, that sort of stuff stopped, thank goodness, and we're back to being far more sustainable with our management. But this stuff's a journey, and it takes a little bit of time, and, I think we just got to give farming people a bit of time. So this is what I do, rather than my father, who would have driven over that with a bulldozer and crushed a lot. To me, the ideal shelter tree on a property is one where the grass grows up to the trunk. So as Mike pictured through, I was interested in your talk, Mike, that's there for... Those particular ones, more there for aesthetic, shelter, shade, not erosion because it's not a steep places, but on all the ridges of my old slips from Bowler, I'm letting Kānuka come up, I'm pruning it up like that. We spend a lot of time doing this sort of stuff, and you can see there that's just an old slip, and I've strategically left Kānukas and allow them to grow, and obviously the reason I prune them up is otherwise they grow down to the ground, as anybody knows. It becomes dirt underneath. When it rains, that dirt washes off. So, in fact, you've got to manage these trees. Otherwise, they do become an erosion risk themselves. That way, if it rains, it's grass underneath, and my dirt stays where it is, and the phosphate stays out of the waterways. This is the mosaic I was talking about. Those are Unionensis, Chinese poplar. I don't plant them anymore now. We've got far better varieties. They were good in the days when we had possums and when rust was bad. But again, that's July, so fabulous colour, interspersed with my fenced-off Kānuka gullies and of course some willows up here. So again, I plan for different trees to have leaves at different times of the year, offer me different aspects, whether it's feed value for cattle, shade, shelter, whatever. And just to finish off with, knowing that time is close, so just like this wonderful property here, and Mr. Appleton's turned up, so I need to acknowledge that lots of Appleton trees here, Robert, and of course those handful of acorns and seeds I flogged as a child from Eastwoodhill too. So we're getting fabulous colour. We're not as mature. Obviously, this garden, well, this part of the garden was only developed 20 years ago. But again, a wonderful source for bees, as we've spoken, but particularly birds. Birds for us are just almost out of control, but not that I mind that. It's great to see them.